Thanks, Clara, for joining us today. This is a great opportunity for us to get to know you and get to know your artwork. And let's try to understand your upcoming drop on Nifty Gateway, which I'm sure you're very excited about. So just wanted to start off by getting to understand you as a person and where you're coming from and what really inspired you to take up digital art as a medium over any other medium, and how did you get inspired to get into this field?
Okay, thanks Himanshu for having me. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for giving the questions in advance so I can read it and I can elaborate a bit better. So I will read. About that question, I find it very interesting because I love the creative potential the alliance between human and computer has. I've always been in need of creating things and expanding myself. As a child, I would write things on an old typing machine I had and then draw on top of it and paste image cuts from magazines. So as soon as I grew up and worked to have a computer, and I have no doubt that was the best creative tool for me because it has so many possibilities and combinations.
Sure. So when we look at your past work, most of it is based on the human form, and when you structure it, it's mostly gender neutral, race neutral, and the flow is very fluidic. It's very surreal in a lot of your artwork. So what is the story behind that? How do you plan to make those forms that way? What inspires you to do that?
Yeah, as I started to work with human shapes, I felt that it was something not to be taken lightly. The immense amount of meaning a body shape has and communicates is something I want to take seriously. So I think every choice adds to the meaning of the pieces. So sometimes I purposely want to speak about feminized bodies as part of the statement of the piece and use what I perceive as a feminine body or even hyper feminize them if it works for the concept, right? But in general, when the piece is serving general human concepts, I feel gender neutral is the best way to be inclusive and respectful also, and a way to focus in other aspects of the piece and non-destructive, right?
Yep.
The fluid forms are always take part because water, as I say, water and fluids are an element I borrow from nature.
Absolutely. So you also write poems and you compose a lot of music that features in your artworks. So does the music serve as the inspiration for the visuals, or is it the other way around?
Most of the times, music comes after the pieces, but it's not that that it has less priority for me. Is that I feel I have more expertise in visuals. I think they do a good match because the music adds vibes to the visual, but I want to get better in music composing before it becomes step one to any piece. I'm constantly practicing though because making music soothes my mind. And about writing, sometimes it comes first and inspires the visual, and sometimes I just let the process go intuitively and then write about the result as a way to observe myself through the piece I made.
Got it. So let's talk a little bit about your first collection that you released on Nifty Gateway a few months ago. So it appears that the Immersion collection that has been evolving over a few years now. Looking at your post that you had on Instagram, it looks like this whole concept has been evolving. So can you describe the inspiration and the story behind the Immersion collection and how it has grown over the years, and why you chose that particular collection to be your first release? Yeah.
Well, an immersive state melody is always playing in the background of myself. I have a very quick mind that things fast and solve several things daily. And then I have this very slow part that drags me, invites me to a deeper place. I chose Immersion Series as the Genesis collection for my first Nifty Gateway drop because it shows a very personal need, the need to reunite those two parts in the deepness of my soul in an immersive, meditative way. The result of this encounter between those antagonic parts of mine is balance and harmony, and fixes a lot of the daily damage.
Okay, so the other consistent theme that we've observed by looking at your work is dreams. You present dreams in one of your artworks, which is titled "Seen in My Dreams," as a bunch of neurons. So, trying to understand how are dreams so significant, and why the use of neurons to represent dreams.
I feel dreams are part of an unpredictable, rich, and huge world. I hardly remember my dreams, but the ones I do remember are also are so meaningful that make me mark me forever. I love that they show information of a personal eeriness that is somehow stored in my neurons. Definitely not being scientific here.
Sure. So you worked with a virtual reality project called Corpus Mystery. So tell us a little bit about that experience and what you took away from it.
Yes, it was a dream project to me. I moved to Berlin for a month and worked with Dove and Anastasia and Juju, three deep, beautiful beings. We worked so seamlessly, and the energy of the project was so meaningful. We had very open conversations about life and ourselves while working and in the breaks. As soon as I arrived, Dove borrowed me a bike, so it was so fun to ride all over Berlin. It's very indie, right? Of course, I love to work in VR also because it's the most literally immersive experience of all. The project is part of XR Coven. It's a women and non-binary collective I'm proud to be part of. And we are planning on doing more stuff really soon. We had a meeting last weekend.
That sounds so exciting. So
Yeah.
What does a typical work day in the life of your artistic process look like? How do you conceptualize a new project, and how do you take it to completion? Which are the tools that you use? Just curious to know that process.
Yeah, I try to wake up the earliest I can. It's around 9 a.m. and drink my mate as breakfast. I am Argentinian mate. And I drink it right in front of the computer already. Most of the days I left something incomplete purposely the day before, so I have motivation to continue the next day in something fun. If I'm in the middle of a client work, for example, I already know what to do. But when it comes to a personal piece, the conceptualization is very difficult to describe. Most of the time, it's about some personal reflection that I feel to put in visuals. So I think about what tools I can use to make it, and the exploration begins. I usually start sketching, hand sketching, and then maybe I go to ZBrush to model something, or in VR, I use Oculus Medium. And then I go to Cinema 4D, and if I have the lack of achieving something, I go to After Effects for post, and then I do the music. Sometimes instead of sketching at the beginning, sometimes I write something. I find words very nice structure to start with.
That sounds very interesting. So can you tell us a little bit about your upcoming Nifty Gateway drop? Can you give us a glimpse into it? We saw you posted a little bit about it on Instagram. So can you get us into that?
Well, it's pretty much what I just said, right? I go through all these programs. But well, this collections shows a study I'm doing on the look of the other. I'm currently speaking about it in therapy. I reflect on in this collection, I reflect on my own perception of how the other judges us and the resources we build through life to manage it. I think the look of the other is implicit on each and everything we do, whether we want to avoid it, embrace it, control it, or let it trespass to our personal land. I am in parallel working on a new concept that I came up to. It's called transphysics, and I explore, it's the way I call it, and I explore the way I think about the type of things the presence of a body emits to the space. Some are tangible, I think, and some are not. So that's my next exploration. And the first glances of it are in this Nifty collection drop.
Yeah, just the concept sounds very interesting. So if I were to ask you, what is your dream project, what would that be?
I would love to keep working on collective or group mode in bigger projects, because I'm solo most of the time. So I like to share.
So then who would be an artist, or what kind of collaborations would you look forward to?
I really like the idea of making more collabs. I have a few artists I'm talking to right now, but I'm really open to synergy with other artists. So I love to talk with them on how they see the world, their thoughts, opinions, and motivation. And I'm excited to combine them with mine. Also, I love the idea of combining tools as well.
That sounds interesting. So you work under the pseudonym Renderfruit. So first of all, where does that name come from, and where do you want to take your brand of Renderfruit as an artist from here on?
The Renderfruit name came like occasionally, just playing, because I started in 2013. I guess I came up with that name, and I guess it's funny thing, but I think as I'm vegan, I think my renders are fueled with plants and fruits, so that's why render fruits. And well, as the future, and for now, I'm exploring that concept I told you about, transphysics, that I find a huge world to explore, right? This idea grows in my mind every day, so I have to like think and do and explore more about that. And also, as many as collaboration I can, I would think. I really like the idea.
All right. So what are your thoughts on the recent hype in the NFT world? Or first of all, what do you think about NFTs as a technology which is enabling the world of art? How do you think it is benefiting artists, and are there any ways it may not be benefiting them so much? And also, if you could change one thing about the world of NFTs and crypto art, what would that be?
Yeah, I've always been making personal pieces in parallel to client work, right? The way the new crypto art movement treats the artist in terms of economy, for example, seems very fair, since we get paid for personal hours finally. And that gives us a new wave of freedom. For example, I wake up in the morning just thinking what I want to do, and that's wonderful. It's not that client work is not what I want to do, because I'm lucky enough to work for people that gives me freedom also. But it's not, I mean, the starting point is you, and the ending point is you. So that's awesome. And on the other side, I think we need more diverse collectors to keep it decentralized, because there are a few names that are very, very important and taking the attention. Not that is not good, but to keep it, the concept of decentralization, we need more collectors for sure.
And I'm sure there will be more collectors entering the space, because right now it's so new and people are still discovering it.
Yeah.
So very soon we will see more and more diverse and serious collectors getting into the space. And once they start developing an appreciation for digital art, because I've seen a lot of collectors, they have not yet explored the world of digital art as much as they have the more traditional art. So this is just another medium, like you have your canvas or wood or metal. Digital is just another medium. So as we get more and more collectors, I'm sure that will improve. So
yeah, so this is the beginning, right?
Yeah, absolutely, just the beginning. We're just getting started. So sounds like you would very much recommend young artists or artists who are just starting out to enter into the NFT world and make sure that they adopt the technology and really sell their art using this platform. So other than that, what advice would you give people who are just starting out right now?
Well, I always say learn tools and dig inside yourselves. I mean, yourself is all you have. And try to force those tools to serve your own ideas, and don't let social networks trends influence your work. When I started a lot of years ago, social media was not like very, very, very popular. We had Facebook and Vine, for example, I know. And so it was more easy to dive in your personal ideas. Now it's difficult because we have too much information, too much visual information also, and it's difficult, like not going with the flow, right? The trends. So yeah, I would recommend that stay true to yourself, to your ideas, and mostly learn and force the tools to serve you.
Yeah, that sounds right. Thank you, Clara, so much for spending the time today and answering all those questions. It really helps us understand your thought process and how you approach your artwork, so that I'm hoping that a lot of people will also get an insight into that and will build a better appreciation for your work. And good luck with your upcoming drop. I'm sure it will be a huge success. And of
I
course,
hope so.
we're looking forward to have another piece from you. So really looking forward to that.
Thank you so much for having this opportunity of communicate the meaning of my work, mostly. And thank you so much.
We hope to catch up with you very soon in the future then.